Just before I begin, I'd just like to say that we have actually quite a few guests and visitors here with us tonight, and I appreciate them coming. It's always nice to see some new faces here at council when we kind of do what we do up here. So I appreciate that. I guess before I begin, I'd have to acknowledge that the teleprompter is broke, so I am resorting to the old-fashioned, my written copy here, so you'll just have to bear with me with that. So let's get underway. Mr. President, members of council, co-workers, guests, and citizens. 2012 was a turning point for Coshocton. I believe we reached the bottom of this recessionary spiral. It started 5 years ago, and even though it hasn't let us loose, it's losing its grip. Unfortunately, governments lag behind in any turnaround, making our recovery even slower. But we've turned that corner. This certainly is not a time to get overconfident, but there is reason for optimism as we see for the third year in a row the general fund finished in the black. We'll carry over an ending balance of $217,740, even though our income tax revenue dropped 2.6% from the previous year. This was a direct result of continued vigilance by the administration, council, the auditor, and department heads to scrutinize expenses and monitor cash flow. In addition, we completed the year in all funds totaled, showing an overall balance of over $6.5 million. This reflects a 1% increase in all accounts that include municipal court, health department, water and wastewater, and the general fund, and keeps us in good standing with our creditors and state requirements. However, this has not been without cost. With the goal to maintain existing services while operating with decreased income, we have pared some staffing below what should be minimum levels. In some departments, we've been unable to adequately maintain or replace old equipment and worn vehicles. Though our projected 2013 revenue indicates that we'll remain flat, we'll look to squeeze every dollar to begin a slow, steady plan to make those repairs and replacements. Last year, I said we needed to bring the ethanol plant issue to a close, and we did. We negotiated with the State Development Office for a $300,000 reduction in a grant payback with the State Development Office, and have agreed to an extension of the capital improvement loan for our wastewater plant that will make our payments tolerably manageable. A new company has purchased the plant and hoping to reopen it by the summer. Our contract with the previous owner has been voided, and with that possible revenue stream. But the prospect of new jobs to our area will bring added income tax to the city. To help offset some of that loss, we finalized an agreement with one of the nation's leading oil and gas drilling companies and installed a bulk water fill station at the wastewater plant. As the drilling in the Utica Shale increases in the next few years, we are poised to meet the heavy demands of that process. The city's major infrastructure project for 2013 will be the repaving and installation of handicap ramps on the Chestnut Street from 3rd to the eastern edge of the city. Just like the 2nd Street project several years ago, this is much needed on one of our most used east and west corridors. A major portion of this funding will come from ODOT, along with other state money we're leveraging. To oversee this project on the city's behalf will be our new Public Works Director. I am very pleased to announce tonight the appointment of Jim Ruby, a former Ohio Department of Transportation Construction Area Manager, who will assume his duties on March 4th. Jim is a lifelong city resident and recently retired from that position after 33 years with the department. He brings a wealth of experience and knowledge that will be a tremendous asset to our team. I'm very grateful that the timing of his retirement coincided with the opening of this position. As the Public Works Director, he will oversee the street, cemetery, and maintenance departments. I'd just like to pause for a minute and ask Jim if he would stand and if everyone would welcome him. Filling this position is the final management consolidation that I began 5 years ago and completes another 2012 goal. Council's approval tonight will authorize me to sign both union contracts that include the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. That contract now recognizes the new Public Works Management and provides us the ability to utilize employees between departments, making our services as streamlined and as efficient as possible. I want to thank both ASME and the International Association of Firefighters for these agreements. We in the administration acknowledge and value the quality of our workforce and the unions that represent them. For their members, it brings continued stability for the next 3 years. Last year, I asked for a collaborative effort to examine the downtown and for groups to work together in a common goal. Through the efforts of the Port Authority and the Project to Restore America, a steering committee was formed from a diverse group of civic and community leaders. That committee is now underway to develop a downtown revitalization plan that will also include examining the business districts of 2nd Street and Roscoe Village. In preparation of this plan, the city commissioned an electrical engineering firm to thoroughly examine the street and bridge lighting problems and submit solutions. This report will be included in the overall plan and cost estimates being considered. There are many organizations that I could recognize who are helping mold the future of Coshocton. So forgive me for only singling out 2. But I'd like to note the contribution of the Project to Restore America and Coshocton is Blooming. Both have become active partners with the city and are dedicated to our economic restoration and beautification. Not just in word, but these private nonprofit groups have committed finances to fund the Chestnut Street Bridge sidewalk repair, supported the arts and our CVB, financing the hanging baskets, trees, and flowers, and our participation in the National America in Bloom Awards program. Their efforts have transcended just being good projects, but have become key drivers in helping our town into what we will be in the years to come. My sincere appreciation goes out to them. So, as I've searched what we will become, I've weighed the question I've heard many times. Who are we now? And what will sustain this small rural community? Many remember the days when there were no store vacancies on Main Street, and there were plenty of industrial factories that good, lifelong jobs were easily found. We don't see that today, but times change and businesses come and go. This city has operated during this recession on a shoestring budget because of the loss of industry, outsourcing, and this change to a global economy. For 5 years, we pulled the strings tight just to maintain, while our local economy has been pummeled against the ropes. But just like the prize fighter, when the arena crowd is getting up to declare the fight over, the beat-down champion lifts his head from the mat, then slowly pushes with his hands to help his wobbly body to his feet. The crowd turns in amazement to wonder where has he found the strength to get up. And then in awe, to hear him say to his opponent, "If that's your best shot, you just lost." And so it is with Coshocton. What has the global economy done for us? It's beat on us and taken away jobs like a bully, only to throw a few bones enough to sustain our industries. State and national policies seem to disregard the plight of small cities, leaving just enough water in the bucket to get us out of the ring, but not to keep us in the fight. However, I believe this opponent has underestimated Coshocton and our resolve. There may be weariness from the fight, but it's also galvanized our determination. It's time to get off the mat, stare into the face of this economy, and take the fight to them. It's time to take our strengths, our grit, our products and declare to the world, we're here to stay and you need what we have. In the past years, we've been known as many things. Excepting New York, with our multitude of advertising specialty businesses, we once had the largest concentration of artists east of the Mississippi. We've had foundries and factories known throughout the nation and have been innovators of whole new industries, such as latex gloves. There was the Ohio Erie Canal that spawned the little mercantile landing of Roscoe Village. We have reason to embrace our 200-year history, but also obligation to take the risk necessary to ensure our future into the next century. With that charge before us, and for as long as you keep me hired, I'm committed to bring these groups and these efforts and their energies together to spread a vision to take Coshocton to the world. And what is that vision? To unite a whole community in a common purpose, working together to make us known as the Made in USA city. We will become the model nationwide for cities to emulate. This vision is aided in that we are one of the few counties where the county seat shares the same name, Coshocton. And even though the branding says city, the vision is broad enough and the county is small enough to include the entire county. Yes, the Made in USA city. This is a twofold plan, manufacturing and retail. We want the nation to know we make American products and we're proud of it. We're proud of our smokestack industries, our factories, our plants. We're making world-class quality products using our Midwest hard work ethic. We're proud that Annan & Company is the world's largest manufacturer of American flags, and that plant is located in Coshocton, Ohio. Annan becomes a cornerstone for the foundation to build this vision. I want to see our corporations label their packaging, their products, their literature with this new branding, and our local plant managers convincing reluctant corporate boardrooms to be proud to identify their goods from the Made in the USA city. I want the world to know that if they want to make products in the USA, come to Coshocton. We are the Made in the USA city. I want to see a renewed focus to bring manufacturing here to help support existing businesses, just like what the Cloud Corporation is doing with their upstart McWayne poles, bringing jobs to Coshocton instead of sending them out of state. The other fold is retail and tourism. I want to see our current retailers see the value and appeal of American-made products to today's customers. To have them seek first suppliers that sell locally made and USA made. For new shops to spring up that complement existing stores, that tourism will capitalize on the Americana of Roscoe Village or grown and bottled in our wineries. I want to see our U.S. goods. I want to see those U.S. goods in our stores that can't be found elsewhere. I hope that entrepreneurs seize the opportunity to open new shops selling only American-made products. We'll work on establishing the criteria for what qualifies as a retailer to display the I'm a Made in the USA business. Many communities can claim the heritage of the past and create beautiful streetscapes to make shopping in their communities unique. But we'll not be any more unique than them if we follow that same model and only adapt it to our differences. We can't stand out in a crowd if we're dressed like everyone else. This is more than just dressing different and smoke and mirrors to attract business. It is real substance. With our industries, manufacturers, farmers, crafters, making products, and our stores full of USA-made goods, we'll take Coshocton to the world because it's not just a name we're calling ourselves, it's who we are. In the coming weeks, I'll assemble a Coshocton USA team to help plan the short and long-range steps to make this happen. I'll be visiting with individuals, businesses, and organizations and treating them to pool their resources under a united vision. There are many great existing vehicles in place and new efforts already underway, all wanting to see Coshocton be that prize fighter. I can see all these dovetailing together in one strong, cohesive bond, but we have to row in the same direction. We have to be willing to respond in cadence and not allow the legitimate need to remain autonomous to cause us to jump ship and paddle in our own boat. This vision was a seed planted in me by another, but I've taken ownership of it and will do my part to run with it, as I hope each of you will do. It has to be a corporate ownership to succeed. This leadership team needs to provide a clear sound that compels our rowing in unison. I call on the individuals and organizations that have dedicated themselves for the betterment of Coshocton to come and join in a common purpose, to bring with them the best practices they have to offer, and to avoid the pitfalls that have paralyzed that progress. I call on our industry leaders to set the foundation, because they are the heart of our Made in USA products. I call on our commercial and tourism partners to build on that foundation by investing in the attraction and value of American-made products. And lastly, I call on our religious leaders to pray and appeal to their congregations for prayer on behalf of our city and our county. It is God that waters and will cause the growth, and it's our relationship to Him that brings His blessing on this community. Without that blessing, our well-intended efforts will not bring lasting fruition. In closing, I ask council for your support and to be the fighters that I know you are. We've labored long under the beatdown of this recession. It's now time for us to collectively raise our heads off the mat, give hope to those who have grown weary, be in one another's corner, and let's take this fight to the world. May God bless you and bless this city. Thank you.